Welcome back to another episode of the American Dairymen Podcast. My name is Brody Jones, and I'm glad to be with you today. Before we get started, we have a quick word from one of our sponsors and friends at UtterTech.
Specializing in workwear for 30 years, UtterTech knows how to keep you clean and dry wherever the job takes you. With a full line of waterproof workwear from pants and jackets to specialized items for palpating and breeding. Try a pair of the iconic waterproof bibbed overalls today. They can be rinsed off with a hose or be machine washed and dried. In addition to the waterproof items, UtterTech offers a wide variety of bags and pouches to keep everything at your fingertips. Check us out online at uttertechinc.com or call us today at 888-438-8683.
Just ahead, we have Dustin Hector. He's the publisher of the American Dairymen, and he sits down with Chad teVelde and Valene Cauhorn with AGPROfessionals. They will lead the interview off by talking a little bit about their personal and professional background. They will then get into AGPROfessionals and everything they have to offer. They will close the interview by discussing some of the adaptations that the dairy industry has had over the years. Before I hand this off to Dustin, we have a brief word from another one of our great sponsors, Profile Animal Health.
Attention dairy farmers. Want to boost your herd's health and your bottom line? Introducing PowerGuard, an OMRI certified clay feed additive tailored for your cows. By mitigating toxin-producing molds in feeds, PowerGuard allows your cow's immune system to naturally combat viruses like avian influenza and enhance daily productivity. Let PowerGuard mitigate your herd's risk to toxin-producing molds and deliver you a more robust, productive herd. Visit profileanimalhealth.com or mbfeeds.com to learn how PowerGuard can strengthen your herd, grow your bottom line, and help keep your farm profitable for your family.
Now here is Dustin Hector.
Thanks, Brody. Hey, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the American Dairymen Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Dustin Hector, and I'm the publisher of the American Dairymen and your host for today's episode. Today, it is my pleasure to welcome our guests, Chad teVelde and Valene Cauhorn with AGPROfessionals. Chad joined the team as a senior professional engineer at AGPROfessionals in 2011. He provides our AGPROfessional clients with new and existing dairy development services from site selection, permitting, and construction to irrigation structures, wastewater pond design and permitting, and much more. Chad focuses on dairy designs that save money for the owner by reducing costs and making sure improvements and equipment translate to the bottom line, not just look nice. Chad works with a variety of dairy systems from freestall, cross-vent, and open lot to robotic dairy facilities. Over his career, Chad has been involved in the design and permitting of more than 30 new dairy projects varying from 800 to 15,000 cows. In addition to his designs, he has provided support and designs to more than 50 dairy remodel projects. Chad's roots in the dairy industry run deep, from growing up on a family dairy in Chino, California, to operating a dairy in partnership with his brother in Nebraska and beyond. He earned his degree in agricultural engineering at California Polytechnic University, San Luis Obispo, and in 2002 launched his career in engineering consulting, specializing in dairy and building design. An Idaho native, Valene has been with AGPROfessionals since 2014. Valene is a licensed professional engineer in Idaho, Washington, Wyoming, Utah, Iowa, Colorado, Ohio, Kentucky, New York, and Pennsylvania. Her areas of expertise include agricultural engineering, the design of feedlots, dairies, associated drainages, and confined animal feeding operation compliance. In addition to the agricultural sector, she does civil design work for commercial development projects and is a project manager for large agriculture and commercial jobs. Valene leads a skilled team in delivering complex agricultural and commercial projects, ensuring operations run smoothly, on time, and within budget. She brings strategic oversight and hands-on leadership to every phase of the project's execution across the region. Valene was raised on a generational farm and beef cattle operation in southern Idaho. She is a Colorado State University graduate in civil engineering with a concentration in soil and water and an additional animal science emphasis. Valene is a board member of Idaho Cattle Association representing District 3. She is also a co-host of her own podcast, Millennial Ag. Chad and Valene, welcome to the American Dairymen Podcast. Yeah, glad to have you guys both here. I know we were talking a little bit about the weather here before we got started, and I think we can all agree we're really enjoying the cold mornings, but not quite ready for winter to come yet. Well, I know we're in no hurry here in Iowa, that is for sure. All right. Well, can you tell our listeners a little bit about AGPROfessionals and what services you all provide for the producers? Sure, no, and there's definitely plenty there. Just basing off of what you two both talked about, that you guys stay pretty busy and definitely don't need to delve into the residential sector when you're dealing with agriculture and all those other areas that you guys mentioned. So, I think what our producers would probably be more interested in talking about is, let's say they're looking at expanding either their dairy or their feedlot. What are some things that a producer should consider when they're looking at expanding their operation in those areas? Yeah, I would imagine just like anything else, there's probably some areas, I could see where, road maintenance and that kind of stuff would be something that kind of out of sight, out of mind, or, back of your mind type stuff that often gets missed. And, it's good to know that you guys are there to kind of help them walk through so they don't at least try to eliminate some of those, oh, shoot, that's going to be an extra, $500,000 to the project. Because, yeah, nothing worse than when you're all gung-ho and excited about moving forward on a big project and then having it halted because of something you could have helped prevent. So, exactly. So, and we've kind of mentioned it a couple times already, but how do these facilities navigate the CAFO inspections, and what do they need to be prepared for when those inspections come? Yeah, it's amazing how we always say in our business, data and content is king, and it's still the same in any agriculture. You've got your records, and that is your data, and that can make or break you, or I mean, it can save you a ton of money on the back end just by making sure you're up to date on all your inspections and requirements. So that's awesome. And I would imagine, like anything else in this world, those CAFO rules, regulations, those things are always changing. So what can a producer do to make sure that they're staying ahead of, these rules, regulations, to make sure that, make sure they're covered, I guess? Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I would imagine that could be a super, super complex question and answer, because it's always changing, and you got to do everything you can do to stay ahead there. So kind of the other direction now, how has the dairy industry adapted over the years? And along with that, of course, where do you see the dairy industry headed in the future, as we talk about the clean water initiatives, CAFO permitting, indoor housing and parlor changes, manure application? Where do you see, I guess, where was the dairy industry, and where do you guys see it going in the future? Sure. Yep. Yeah, I think it's funny. It seems like everything, we always seem to go in circles. It's which is okay. I guess it kind of keeps us from playing the guessing game, but now instead of playing what's going to happen, it's usually more of a when is it going to happen. So but no, I think Chad and Valene, thank you both for taking time out of your schedules. I know you guys are busy, and we've got, World Dairy Expo coming up next week, and so busy time for the dairy industry. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys for your time, and on behalf of the American Dairymen and all the dairy producers out there, we want to thank you guys and what AGPROfessionals does for the dairy industry. Absolutely. I enjoy getting a paycheck here every once in a while. So thank you to the dairy producers for that. Folks, that was Chad teVelde and Valene Cauhorn with AGPROfessionals. For more information, go to their website, www.agpros.com. That's it for today, folks. I want to thank you for joining us. Please make sure you tell your friends and neighbors about us. Take care now.
A special thanks to Chad teVelde and Valene Cauhorn with AGPROfessionals for taking time out of their busy day to sit down and talk with Dustin. Before we wrap this up, let's hear from another one of our great sponsors and good friends at Central Life Sciences.
Your pasture is under attack. Hornflies are wreaking havoc on your herd, dealing damage to your cattle's weight and your bottom line. That's why you need a solution in your arsenal that can withstand an attack. Altocid IGR is the first and proven feed-through that is battle-tested as an effective hornfly management product, delivering the defense needed to keep your herd protected and your profit strong. Win the battle for your cattle. Learn more at AltocidIGR.com.
A special thanks to our sponsors for making this all possible: UtterTech, Profile Animal Health, and Central Life Sciences. We hope you enjoyed your time with us. For more information or to listen to previous episodes, visit our website, www.americandairymen.com, or check us out on social media simply by searching American Dairymen. The American Dairymen Podcast is produced by Twin Rivers Media Podcasts. That's it for today, folks. Thanks again for joining us. Until next time, make sure the gate is always closed.